And now, it's BoomerLife, lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is BoomerLife on CIL 650.
The best things in life are free, but you can keep them for the birds and bees. Now give me more.
Welcome to BoomerLife on CIL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Thanks for joining us today. So the skill testing question of the day is, are you where you want to be financially? Well, a well-thought-out plan for your financial future is an integral part of building the life that you want for both yourself and for your family. So on BoomerLife today, we'll be talking about your financial future with JimDoyle. Jim is a senior financial consultant with Investors Group Financial Services, Inc. And we've got a full show today. It's great. Starting off with how you approach financial planning. That's right. We're going to be digging in deep, and we'll also be addressing some very key investment and estate planning challenges, as well as some pitfalls that might prevent you from fulfilling your personal retirement dreams. So let's get started. Say welcome to JimDoyle. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Joanne. It's great to be here today. Thank you all for sharing some of your time with us here today. And I'd like to ask your indulgence for a moment and have you think about a big company. Let's take Apple for an example.
Oh, that's big.
And why? Because the benefits of business planning are tried and true. Leaders establish a vision for their organization's future and develop strategies that will take them where they want to go.
Well, I think I know where you're going with this. Prioritizing the actions and expenditures that must be made to achieve the stated goals of the business.
A skillful business planner's big picture view captures all of the necessary elements to succeed and makes sure contingencies are considered and incorporated into their plan.
Well, to a great extent, the future of the organization is in the hands of those who chart the course.
Now, the same can be said for those who chart the course for clients in developing and deploying personal financial plans. You are your own financial CEO. The CEO has the vision and works with a team of professionals to implement their plan.
Well, Jim, how does that work exactly?
The financial planner's role is to help create and shape your vision and execute strategies to fulfill your goals. Skillful financial planners assess your current situation and have an objective perspective that helps you develop strategies to maximize available opportunities and resources.
So on today's show, we're speaking about how you approach financial planning, and we want to work with an advisor who specializes in our very unique situations. And Jim, I've known you for some time now, and I've got to highlight why someone might choose and make that decision to work with a certified financial planner like yourself.
Well, thank you, Joanne. A study on the value of financial advice by the Center for Inter-University Research and Analysis of Organizations revealed how working with an advisor for 15 years or more accumulated 290% more in assets. Who wouldn't want that?
Who wouldn't want that? Don't hold back, Jim. Seriously, 290% more in assets? Well, how does one get this?
Well, it's not sexy, but it starts by helping people be accountable to themselves. In addition to things you might expect of us, like portfolio construction and prudent asset management, we look at things like cash flow planning and spending patterns on a regular basis to help identify problem areas which could be harming your financial prognosis.
Well, it seems like a lot of common sense, so just basically don't get off track, right? Spend time reviewing your finances regularly, and you won't lose sight of that bigger picture. Not to mention that we hope you'll feel more in control.
We talk about creating and maintaining consistent savings habits. And maybe just because we're looking at things more often, people make better choices. And maybe you save a little bit more than you might have been.
Well, to me, Jim, it's not rocket science. Well, and it may seem like that at times, but it is hard to know everything that you need to know when you're doing it all by yourself.
Exactly. Financial planners help create and harmonize tactical plans to prioritize your objectives. You can achieve more. Just like a business planner, financial planners provide feedback and help you monitor your long-term vision, keeping you on track and making adjustments to the plan where necessary.
Jim, I can only expect, as with business leaders, financial planning professionals are also there through the inevitable rough patches to help ease concerns and instill some confidence. With the recent U.S. election, I'm sure there are more than a few people who have questions about their financial futures.
To a great extent, the future of your financial well-being rests in the hands of the financial planner you choose to work with. The choice of whom to engage in the planning process matters, whether it's business or personal. So take the time to align yourself with professionals who arm themselves with the knowledge and skills necessary to help you succeed.
Well, this has never been a political show, and we don't plan on making it right now. We're not going to delve into that election and pick apart all the petty little details. But, Jim, could you give us an idea as to how we could keep on track and not lose sight of that bigger picture? I mean, there's definitely a sense of fear here and that the sky might be falling.
We ask the people we work with what their financial goals are. Keep these in mind when the going gets tough. While this seems a straightforward aspect of financial planning, many clients have little real understanding of the fundamentals that drive the markets. So what am I saying? Don't let your emotions drive your decisions.
Well, it sounds straightforward to me, Jim. So why is seeking financial planning advice such a challenge for so many Canadians? I actually feel that few people would disagree about the life improvements to be gained from some comprehensive financial planning.
Great point, Joanne. Thank you. The majority of us go without a plan or knowledge that our current plan needs improvement because it simply isn't on our radar to be concerned.
Would this be kind of like driving your car until something breaks down?
Exactly. When dealing with unfamiliarity and big consequences, like what happens when you start shining light on those financial decisions, consumer psychology leads us to believe that the risk of doing nothing is safer than the risk of making a mistake. And we don't want to be making mistakes, do we?
I'd go as far as to suggest that we crave comfort, and stepping out of our comfort zones without knowing what's waiting for us can actually be quite challenging. I do get it.
I think it's a fair representation, Joanne. It's unfortunate, but these factors, the fear factors, often derail us from asking help, and consequently, we miss out for some highly valuable benefits, financial and emotional security.
So it sounds like you're suggesting that financial and wealth management services represent an extreme dynamic. We fear the unfamiliar and risk, but we crave that financial stability.
That's powerful stuff. When it comes to financial planning, Joanne, most individuals do not have a clearly articulated process.
Well, it's pretty clear to me that if you take the time to reflect on your financial decisions, you'll have a better understanding of the choices that are available to you.
That's right. That's exactly what we're talking about here today. You can make better choices, and there's real economic and emotional value to be had when you choose to take the time and reflect on your decisions. Not to mention, if you combine this attitude with working with a professional financial planner.
Well, I hadn't considered it this way. I can actually say that I had expected the economic gains from working with a professional to be good, but not to the tune of 290%. That is absolutely substantial value. But I probably hadn't given as much thought to the emotional value a comprehensive financial plan could actually offer me and my family. I didn't realize it existed.
You know, clients who dropped their advisors between 2010 and 2014 lost a significant percentage of their asset values. In fact, they went down about 34.2%, while clients who kept their advisors saw their asset values grow by 26%. With the families we've worked with, there have been so many success stories, okay? And I'm just thrilled to be part of that process. I've got to tell you, when the clients I work with achieve their goals, the goals that we carefully marked out as milestones in their financial plans, a real sense of purpose takes over.
Well, I suppose it really comes down to just taking that first step and getting started.
I was listening to something recently from Ron Carson. It isn't the bus that you can see that ends up hurting you. It's the one you don't see.
Well, this stuff isn't getting any simpler, that's for sure. So getting good, actionable advice is something that we all want, and of course, we all deserve.
I'd like to extend an offer to those listening. If you don't feel you have enough certainty in the planning you've already put in place, call me for a second opinion. And my number's 604-682-5431.
Exactly. Talk to somebody who can help you understand your current circumstances and actually has the experience to help you craft a plan to take you where you want to go. I think Jim's that guy. Just don't be afraid to ask any questions.
This is a great time to suggest reviewing your current financial situation and consider creating a written financial plan. It pays to understand how an appropriately diversified portfolio will be critical when it comes to retirement planning. Never lose sight of the importance of constructing your portfolio to meet today's needs and anticipates your future needs as well.
Jim, you've mentioned this before. It's about putting an investment strategy or a series of strategies into place that attempt to balance financial and emotional security according to the investor's risk tolerance, their goals, and investment time frame. So would it be fair to say that people are probably a little anxious because financial planning for a lot of us is basically uncharted territory? We just don't seem to understand all of the options available to us or even what benefits we could be entitled to.
I think so. I think most of us are reluctant to approach the planning process confidently when we don't know what to expect. Joanne, I've come to learn that people expect a product or an investment decision to be a big part of the process, but what they really want is the solution or solutions to their financial problems. Jim, how can I increase my retirement income? How do I keep more of what I make? How can I help out the kids and not hurt my own retirement? How do I increase my financial security? And how do I feel more confident in my financial decisions? And importantly, how much is it all going to cost me to do this? This is what clients tell me that they really want.
Oh, it's great. And you're the guy with all the answers, too. It's obviously very intense and difficult work to do, especially when you don't see the immediate benefit.
Without effective tax planning and estate planning, you run the risk of ending up with something less than you anticipated. People simply don't like surprises, especially when it comes to your retirement income. In the early evaluation stage, we want to talk about my firm's characteristics and resources, the services that we do not offer, as well as capabilities and expertise that we can bring to help, and our ability to deliver the expected results. We also want to explain the planning process, the plan's execution, and our monitoring approach, and to also talk about our service costs and fees.
Jim, it's all been very insightful and a very good reminder that life is a journey, and like any successful journey, should always include some good planning. Plan more, worry less, right? You're going to take all that time to plan your family vacation. You need to take the time to plan your financial future. So if you happen to be in a position where you're facing questions about your retirement planning and you're curious about getting more planning advice, Jim, what's the best way someone can reach you?
They can give me a call. I'm at 604-682-5431, and I'd be happy to take some time to speak with you.
You're listening to Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton, and today we're speaking with JimDoyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. And to learn how Jim can actually help you, all you have to do is give him a phone call, 604-682-5431, or send Jim an email, jim.doyle@investorsgroup.com. Jim has a lot more insight on spending choices over the holidays. You need to know that your spending choices might be having a greater influence on your long-term financial outlook than you think. That's all coming up next on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.